Hello guys, welcome back to the program. You are still watching a 3-hour news show on See Today, and this is our signature segment, See the Stories. Now we have some news for you fans of British music group. I'm one of them. Oasis, who just announced the 30th anniversary of reissue of Definitely Maybe. Here we go. The special edition of the band's 1994 debut album, Definitely Maybe, is due for release on August the 30th. It will be available in several formats, namely 4 limited edition LPS, 2 deluxe CDS, exclusive colored vinyl, and many more.
I think it's LPs and CDs.
LPs. Good Lord.
The Definitely Maybe 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition album contains tracks from the discarded original recording session at Monmouth Valley Studios. It will also include outtakes recorded at Sawmill Studios in Cornwall, which have been mixed for the first time by Noel Gallagher and Callum Marino.
The band split after Liam and Noel clashed backstage at the Rock and Sign Festival in Paris in 2009. Shortly after, Noel Gallagher quit Oasis and formed Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds.
So who did the split? Who said, okay, we split?
It's a he says, she says, right?
Yeah, I think one of them, they're waiting for each other to call and say, oh, come on, let's get back together.
Both of them are saying that now, right?
I hope they don't look back in anger anymore.
Don't look back. Oh, that's a good one, Alia.
Look back in anger. Yeah, so the famous feud.
Don't look back in anger.
Yeah, I was gonna say the famous feud between brothers Noel and Liam Gallagher is an example of sibling rivalry. Now, to know more about this topic and how parents can actually handle it, we now have with us psychologist Regina Navira Pratiwi. Thank you for coming by to see today's studio.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay, so I think every sibling must have, in some kind of a phase in their lives, some kind of a sibling rivalry. Like they fought each other, at the same time they play each other.
Right.
So what is actually sibling rivalry? And is it good or is it bad?
Okay, sibling rivalry actually refers to, feeling jealous, conflict, competition among children, foster or blood siblings, or maybe like sometimes step siblings. Actually, this is normal. It's normal, like especially for children who share their living space, and also reinforcement, and not reinforcement is like resourcement, and of course from the attention from their parents or caregivers. We can say caregivers. Yeah.
So basically, it can happen to everyone, right?
In every family.
Household, right? Now, is there any research saying that normally it's typically gonna happen during this stages of the age, the brothers and all the sisters?
Okay, because this is normal, but sometimes we know that, every children, they grow up so fast, right? But it can be start from age 2. And
age 2?
Yeah, exactly, age 2. Actually, it depends on the children itself. It's like 5 or 6 years old, because they can try to understand or interpret the behavior of their parents, and they can understand the jealousy and of course the comparison from their parents. They can understand this.
Okay.
They can
So usually it happens with the kids that have shorter
age.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Right.
How far usually, or how many years usually of the gap that causes much of the rivalry?
Right. Interesting to find
Actually, this is like, it depends, but the kid, they can start to use their perspective taking, egocentrism. They start from 6 years old, they can understand this. They can use like empathy or something like that. But when 2 years old, they can use their own instinct, basic instinct that they need to survive.
Right.
So that's why they can be, attention seeker.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, that's the thing. And also like, in 6 years old, they can start, so that's why sometimes it's, dangerous, not dangerous at home. If we have like under 2 years old and they have newly baby at home.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Oh, they can understand that just because the instincts kick in, like you said, when they're that young.
Yeah, because they want to survive.
Right. It's very interesting.
They were the youngest at some point. Suddenly, somebody younger came out of the world.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Came out of the world, so the competition started.
Exactly. Now, can it get more intense as they get older, maybe, or let's say there's new development in the family itself. Is there possibilities like that?
Yeah, but it actually depends on their parents. So that's why as parents...
parents actually play a very pivotal role
We
here.
have big role to help them to understand and respect their siblings itself and stand in their perception. They have to understand that family or siblings, it's about collaboration.
Right.
It's not about competitive. So that's why we have to make sure them that we give them like fully attention and full of affection, not only attention, but all, of course, like affection.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, in order to make the best out of this sibling rivalry, although parents might have headache, every time they fought, they hit and kick each other.
Right.
So, what benefit might we get out of sibling rivalries?
There are so many benefits if they have siblings at home. I mean, of course, we have to make sure that they can build healthy relationship at home, right? It will help them to develop their social and emotional skill. They will learn. This is the opportunity actually for them to learn how to communicate effectively, and of course respect and integrate the problem.
Right.
Like for example, maybe they fight each other, but we can help them to build this skill with integrate among the problem and the person, sibling itself,
Right.
and how to find the solution.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, what about the role of parents, as you mentioned, is very critical.
Yeah.
What can we do as parents in order to, not to let the sibling rivalry goes on, but to have maybe equally, equally divided treatment to both that are, having rivalries at that moment.
We have to avoid favoritism.
Avoid favoritism.
Alia?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the youngest one got the most attention, right?
True.
Yeah. Do you happen to have that?
Yes. It can be very true.
But your kids are having
it's on me
quite
now?
a big difference of age, right?
Yes. Charlotte is 15. And my
15.
younger son, Brady, is only 6, almost 7.
Do they fight?
Lately, not so much. But like you said, there was a time where those two, they couldn't sit in the same room, same place, together for a very long time. Otherwise, they would just kill each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, to what you were asking, we wanted to know whether it's actually gonna, how do you actually get the undivided attention very, very fairly? Maybe that's one of the ways to put it, to make sure that the parents are very equal to both or
We have
more.
to exactly avoid favoritism because it will be, being a stimuli or stressor for our kid itself because of the parents' expectation that maybe parents want them to be like more perfect and the other child they are neglect and they feel inadequacy and also avoid comparison.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we hear that a lot, right?
Don't
We
like to be
encounter
compared.
that a lot.
Yeah.
You're right. Actually, that's not good, right?
Yeah, of course it's not good because they will be, compete each other.
Right.
Sometimes also the burden, Ranga, I'm sorry to cut you there, but the burden is always being put to the eldest one. Like the eldest has to give good examples, cannot make any mistakes.
Right.
How do we as parents have that control and still think that even the eldest one is also a human and they're bound to make mistakes as well? How do we do that?
We have to, be mindful as a parents. I mean, we have to understand that even in family, we are not compete with each other, but we make, collaboration that can complement with each other. And every child is unique. They are unique, and we have to respect this. Maybe we can start to, understand their limitation and also strengths, weakness, their interests, struggle. Of course, it will be different every child.
Yeah, you're right, because sometimes we put too much pressure onto the older or the oldest sibling, and we don't know actually what kind of effect later on during their life that they're going to be having. Now, speaking of favoritism, you mentioned earlier, what are some of the effects that the children can have impacts on the children if parents are doing that too much?
What are
the impacts? Of the
kids?
parents doing favoritism to one or two of the children.
Okay, maybe for the favorite child or favorite children, maybe they will be more superiority. They will be more superior, attention seeker, and perfectionist. So For the neglect one, they will be like more inadequacy, low self-esteem, low self-worthy. So for them, it will be hard. For them, they will find the difficulty to build healthy relationship in the future.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Okay. What about in circumstances where parents are divorced, for example? Would this complicate the sibling rivalries? And in what way?
Oh yeah. It's called like life changes, right? I mean divorce. Actually, this is major thing that can increase resentment or maybe hate between each other. It's very stressful not only for children, of course for parents as well.
Yeah.
But for children, they have the difficulty to acknowledge and recognize their feelings. So they will project the frustration or negative feelings to their siblings.
Right. Okay.
They don't angry to the siblings, right?
Yeah,
but they project this because they don't know how to recognize this.
Right. Okay. And when you do recognize that, what can you do to help the child overcome or to help them manage the uncertainty because of the anxiety for sure? How do you suggest the parents do? Right.
Firstly, we have to concern to ourselves at first.
The parents?
Yeah, exactly. We have to be, more mindful about ourselves, about the problem. We have to understand this. And then after that, we can take care of our children better, of course, right? And then after that, we can help them to talk, build some of framework about the root, about the problem, and why it should be like this. And after that, we have to, not only cognition area, but of course, we have to touch their heart, affectionate.
Right. Okay.
Make sure that no matter how bad the relationship between, ex-wife or ex-husband in the family, but the most important thing is their happiness.
Okay.
Make sure about it.
Okay. Well, this is getting more and more interesting, right?
Interesting.
But I mean, in a divorced family situation, for example, they will have not only their own siblings that come from the previous family, but the step siblings.
Right. Yeah, the step siblings.
Yeah. What are the if you may have cases? What are the common problems that come after a divorce in a family?
If they have step.
Yeah. If they have step siblings.
So yeah, of course, sibling rivalry is still there.
Still there.
Because of
even though they're not really
blood,
connected,
in blood, but still sibling rivalry is still there.
Somehow.
Yeah. Right.
It takes time to make them to understand about the situation of the family. But of course, we have to teach them how to respect each other and try to treat them in that condition fairly, of course. This is human being and you're a human being in this condition. You have to, not only understand, but let them to express their emotion in a good way. If they don't like it, if they like it, and find the solution.
Right. Now, is there a research where it shows that there is actually, let's say, a golden gap between the siblings, right?
When you want to plan,
yes,
to have
exactly.
Kids.
Oh, yeah.
Is there to make sure that you kind of minimize? I don't know if you can though, but is there?
Other than the school fees that probably
exactly with school fees when they get too close, right? I mean, I gotta get money for this going to the elementary, and next year I gotta get.
Is there? That's not sibling rivalry.
That's not sibling.
That's husband and wife rivalry.
Mental readiness.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is there any golden gap of year, if you might point out here?
Maybe after 3 years old.
3.
When they
so 4
stop,
years is good?
Breastfeeding, stop breastfeeding.
When you stop,
Yeah, it will be okay for having new baby at home.
Okay, so that's about 2 years then.
Yeah, exactly, 2 years, and then get pregnant, and then at 3 years old, they will have new sister or brother at home.
Right, okay, so
they'll be fine. They can play together.
Yes, the acceptable at the moment, right? Maybe the norm for having the gap between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna still talk about sibling rivalry with Regina here, looking beautiful with emerald green. But that's gonna be after the break, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.